Welcome, traders. I'm so happy that you guys are here today. Lock in, pay attention, and get ready because today's recap, we're bringing out the full arsenal. This isn't just another look at a few signals. This is the full game plan for spotting, timing, and writing market moves from start to finish like a pro. And here's what we're going to break down today for you, okay? First, we're kicking off things with a 5-minute chart right here. This is your high-level radar. I'm going to show you exactly how to spot the early signs that a move might be brewing, not some random pop, but a move with legs, okay? And then we're going to drop down to a 2-minute cycle chart, and this is where we're going to sniff out the first heartbeat of a trend. This is your edge, getting in before the masses catch on. And then we're going to shift gears to your trend chart. This is your confirmation chart, okay, that we're going to be looking at. This is where you pull the trigger with confidence and ride that bad boy until the wheels fall off. And finally, we're going to circle back to the cyclic component of the chart. That's going to be to time the exit, manage the chop, and avoid getting back what you just worked so hard to grab, okay? This is the real playbook right here. Every move, every confirmation, every exit. And I'll tell you why this matters, guys. This matters because it's important that you stop guessing, that you stop getting faked out, that you stop sitting on the sidelines watching traders with the right tools eat your lunch. If you're serious about trading, today's session is a masterclass. So pay attention and buckle up as we get ready to ride this bad boy. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and get started, guys. And we're going to start first with this 5-minute chart here, right here. And here we go. This is the very first bar on this 5-minute chart right here, guys. And we're going to let these kind of shake out a little bit here on the 5-minute. I promise I'll get to any questions you have. Just hang on tight until I kind of go through this demo. This way I don't lose my frame of thought as I'm kind of presenting what we're doing here, okay? And I promise I'll get to every one of your questions towards the end, all right? So right now, we're not going to do anything because this is the first bar of the day. Let the market breathe. Let it shake out. You know, let's get some structure before we actually place any moves in our trades, right? So right now what we have is we have the cycle, we have the price line right here at 0, and we have the accelerator all the way down here at the bottom. Very good clue that price was going to open to the downside right here. You know, the way I like to trade personally, okay, this is exactly the process that I follow, okay, in every single trade that I take. And this is, I'm going to walk you through it right now. I typically try to avoid taking any trades within the first 15 minutes of the session. That's just the way I like to approach the market. I like to see how it shakes out and what direction the market's going to take. Even though I do have my tools, it's my practice to wait at least 15 minutes before I dive to the deep end, okay? So let's see what happens here on the 5-minute and see if it gives us any indication as to where the big move is about to take place. Had a nice little down bar right out of the gate. And right now, everything that's happening, you know, you have, you know, just price just kind of shaking out. The purple line has not finished the rotation. When this purple line, which is an accelerant, the purple line measures the acceleration of price, okay? When this purple line crosses above the 0 line, that is it, guys. That is trade over. And there's nothing else left in this trade once that happens, okay? I'm actually playing this back at 6 times the speed of the market because I kind of want to give you guys a little bit of context and let this move a little more natural than 10 times the speed of the market. Otherwise, it kind of goes too quick, right? It kind of feels like you shotgunned the whole session. So let's go ahead and do 6 times, and that's what I'm playing it at now. So you can feel a little bit more natural, but still with the ebb and flow that kind of keeps the progress going. This here, guys, would have been the end of the trade right there. You saw right out of the gate how the price line came below the 0 line, and you also had a confirmation over here the previous day that price was going to fall right out of the gate. And that's exactly what it did, guys. Price fell right there. The moment the purple line, which is the accelerant, goes up above 0, that is it, guys. That is trade over. And that would have been the end for that trade right there. Now, what's price doing over here? It's in The exhaustion zone right here, okay? Remember, there are three phases to the move. There is acceleration when it crosses below the zero line, okay? There's exhaustion, and then there's contraction when it comes above this green line going towards the region Y threshold right there, okay? This is not yet a long trade, and you will see why in a moment. Look at what's happening right here, guys. You have the purple line, which is the accelerant, just shoot all the way up here. And remember, you've got the three phases of the trade. You've got acceleration, you've got exhaustion, and now you're going to have contraction as this bad boy kind of goes all the way from this green line all the way to the region Y threshold right there. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and follow that and kind of let it do its thing until it actually gets to the inflection point there. So here's what's happening right here, guys. You had the purple line go all the way to the exhaustion zone right here. You haven't yet hit the inflection point. This whole region right here is nothing but noise, okay? This is untradeable. This is not what you want to trade, okay? This is part of the reason why we didn't take any trade to the upside right here. We always trade in the direction of where the blue line is positioned. So if the blue line is below the zero line, you're going to take short trades. If it's above the zero line, you're going to take long trades, okay? Right now, it's below the zero line, but it's getting pretty darn close to the inflection point, kind of letting you know that price might fizzle out. And you are very close to the inflection point right here, guys. This is too close for comfort to take any type of short trade right here, because the moment that this actually hits the inflection point, you're going to get a reversal in price right there. Actually, let me put this at 8 times the speed of the market to speed it up just a little bit more, because it's a little bit too slow at 6 times the speed. And that's exactly what I'm telling you right there. The moment it gets close to the inflection point, it's gonna start moving up. And that's the reason that this wouldn't be a good setup to go to the short side right there. Moment it gets close to the inflection point, that's it. You're gonna have a little bit of a bounce to the upside, and that's exactly what you're seeing right there. Not yet a long trade yet to the upside either. Remember, the blue line is still below zero right there. And again, this is noise. If you like trading noise, then hey, more power to you. You might be successful at that in your own account. I don't like trading noise in my account, so I'm very particular as far as where I position my trades. All of this is nothing but noise, guys. And you're going to see a lot of it on the 2-minute chart when we flip over there in just a moment, okay? Okay, that looks like the start of a short trade to me right there. You've got the accelerant that just came down. You've got the blue line still in cycle mode right there. Let's pause and see what's happening in our cycle chart over here, because that's the important part. The moment I see this bad boy go down in this type of setup, okay, guys, I am going to pause and look at my cycle chart, okay, and get a clue here on this cycle chart as to what's happening here with price, okay? And if I look here at my cycle chart, I could tell that momentum is coming down. Cycle is already down here. Your predictor is up. Okay, and you've got this bad boy that just came down right there, which is your price line. So let's go ahead and continue this here on the cycle chart to see if there's going to be any potential entries that we might flag. Okay, boom, right there. This is the second bar. Now, the moment that momentum comes down from this little cycle trade, you can tell this is a cycle trade because you see the sine wave formation going down. Okay. The moment that this bad boy comes down right here, you want to flag this right there, and you want to ask yourself, is this the start of a potential trend to the downside? Okay, whenever it comes down below 0.80 or above 0.90, that's the first question that should be in your mind. Is this the start of a potential trend right there? Now, in order for us to find out if it's the start of a potential trend, we go to our trend chart over here. We've got a cycle chart to only capture the cyclic component of the price move, but we also have this chart over here, which is specifically designed to capture the trend component of the move. You can't be mixing both styles of trading, guys. If you have a cycle chart, make sure it's set to only capture the cyclic component of the rhythm in the market, but you want also a trend chart to only capture the trend component of price, okay? And that's exactly what you're looking at right here. Now, when we look at this chart, let's look at what we're seeing right now. We see cycle below zero. We see momentum below zero. That is the first indication that price is going down on your cycle chart. That's one of 3 confirmations we have here on your trend chart, okay? So, second confirmation is we have a shift in momentum to the downside right there. And the third confirmation is you've got scalp mode right here, right below the zero line. Guys, A, B, C, that tells me that this is the start. That is the early onset of a trend. And if that's the early onset of a trend,
Order
then I want to
filled.
pull the trigger and take a short, okay? That's just how easy it works, okay? You first spot it on your 5-minute, you confirm it on your cycle chart. Is this the early onset of a trend? Yes, you confirm this on your trend chart right here. And you pull the trigger. And now, what's going to be your exit? Where are you going to get out looking at all these tools that you've got in your chart? Can someone please tell me in the comments, where am I going to get out from this trade? Yep, you're going to watch Pirmo. That's absolutely right. You're going to watch Pirmo. That's right, Johnny. This is going to be your exit tool right here on the trend chart once you lock and load on a trend to the downside, okay? The indicators work as a confirmation tool. 1, 2, 3, it's your confirmation. You saw the arrows, the stars aligned, you take the trade with confidence, okay? But then you look at Pirmo for your directional cue as to where you're going to get out of the trend. The moment this purple line pops up, you're going to get out of this trend. Now, you begin counting your cycles. And check this out. This is the confirmation that you're in trend mode right here. And let me go ahead and stop that for just a second because this is so important, guys. I can't stress this enough because, this is one of those things that if you miss it, you miss the critical part in anything that we're teaching here today, okay? Watch this over here. We spotted the early onset of a trend on your cycle chart, which was right here, all right? Right when you took the trade. And right now, if I go ahead and get my crosshairs and put that right here where this arrow is, and this is where we switched over to our trend chart, this was at 10:26 a.m. Watch, check this out. The 10:26 marker, you guys are going to fall back when I show you this, okay? The 10:26 marker is right here. Look at this, okay? This is your 10:26 marker right smack right there. This is exactly where we have these arrows right here on the chart. Well, if that's your 10:26 marker and I jumped into the trade right here, how many bars in advance did you get confirmation on the cycle chart that this was actually going to go into a trend before you actually got the actual trend confirmation right smack right here? Let me just go ahead and put a little box in case you can't see it. Right there. Okay, let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bars in advance. Did you get that? I hope it's registering, okay? You got a 5-bar lead on your cycle chart of an early onset of a trend that you came over here and confirmed up here before the actual chart in SIMO with the setting of 14 confirmed it right here. This is the official confirmation right here that you're in a trend, guys. Your cycle chart caught it 5 bars earlier, okay? And that's the power of following that process. The whole game plan, guys, is to get in on the trend early. Because if you get in on the trend early, then you're giving yourself enough of a margin of safety that if you're wrong and if something happens, then heck, man, at least you got in at least 5 bars earlier, right? It's much better to get in over here than it is over here. And that's the whole process that we just followed right now. Now we're going to follow this bad boy all the way through and through until, we get this purple line actually popping up really nice out of here, and then we'll go ahead and turn it over to our cycle chart. Okay, so we've got cycle 1. This is the end of cycle number 1 right there. And we've got this bad boy exiting right there. So we will
Order filled.
buy this back. Okay, right there. You see this little pop to the upside? Okay, now this is popping to the upside right there, letting you know that, hey, you know what? Perhaps this trend is already over and done with, guys. Then I want to go ahead and bring back my cycle chart to see what the cyclic element in price is telling me here. Now, if I stop this, you can clearly see the rotations really nice here on this chart. Cycle 1 begins right there. Cycle 1 ends there. This is the start. This is the early onset of the trend that you saw on the chart, okay? We have the beginning of cycle number 2 right there. We have the end of cycle number 2 right there. Now, check this out, guys, for some of you guys who are looking at this. The crossing of cycle number 2 at this bar, you would have seen it right here at this bar where my crosshairs are at right now, okay? And that's the end. Cycle 1, cycle 2, you're right there, done. Okay, not only that, but Pyramo confirmed it over on your trend chart. What else are you waiting for to exit the trade? Okay, now let's go ahead and follow some of the price action on this and see exactly what happened with this at this point in time. Okay, now you've got cycle and momentum going up right here, and you've got the predictor still not going up. So this is no trade at all right there, okay? If anything, you've got the predictor going down. This might potentially be a short trade right there.
Order filled.
Let's see what happens. I'll do a cowboy trade. I'm taking that because you've got the predictor below the 0 line, and you've also got cycle coming down, and you've got momentum also coming down, well, below 0 right there. It's not coming down, but it's below 0. So let's see if we can take that for a clip. Okay, and that would be my clip right there.
Order filled.
Super quick, 625 bucks, boom, right there. And let's just wait and see what happens with this. Now that we caught the trend component of the price over on the trend chart with Pyramo, now I'm looking at my cycle chart right here for any little opportunities and movement that I can see. And I missed this one. It's reading Samba Barbie's comments. This was another trade to the upside. I just completely blinked and it went away. Okay, you've got the predictor coming down right here. Oh yeah, that's definitely a sell signal right there. Absolutely, and that moved quick. The moment the predictor goes above the 0 line, you are done with that move. This is it, guys, right there. And let me just kind of go over something that's important as well. Hit the buy button right here.
Order filled.
Okay, here's something that's also important with this, okay? Anytime the price line, the green line here, drops below the threshold or above the threshold, and you get a cross here with the predictor, that is almost invariably the end of that move. Don't expect the second rotation. You only get second rotations when the price line is inside this little threshold right here, this little black threshold, okay? That's the only time you expect some type of second rotation. But whenever you've got the price all the way down here right there, and you just had the predictor go above the 0 line, guys, that is almost pretty dead certain that that's going to be your exit right there. So there's no reason to stick around and wait for anything at that point moving forward. If anything, I'm watching cycle and momentum for a potential reversal trade to the upside right here. Cycle is still below 0. You've got momentum also below 0. Okay, well, you just had cycle cross above 0 right there, which is nice. And it'd be nice to see if momentum actually curls up as well. And I definitely want to see price get out of this zone over here too. So right there, this might be the early onset
Order filled.
of a buy signal. Bingo right there. And you've got a little crossing here. If you really want to play it safe, guys, you can certainly get out right here. Look at this. Right smack right there. You just had cycle cross below the 0 line. Momentum is rising. But you also have this bad boy right here about to break out. So if this is about to break out, you might have a little bit more of a push to the upside. If you wanted to play it safe, this would be your safe exit right here. Now you've got a second rotation as well right there, which is nice. And so At the end of the day, if this stays inside right here, inside this little black threshold, the second rotation is going to be the end of that trade. As soon as this crosses below the zero line, I am done right there.
Order filled.
Okay, and let's see what happens to price if I would have stood into the trade after this bar. Look at this. You have an inflection point move right there, okay? And that, I'm almost sure is going to be the end of it right there. Is this trading? How do I get this? I've got links in my bio. It's called the Full Suite. You can take these bad boys out for a 7-day test drive for free.
Wow, did you see that? That's what you call precision.
And there you go, guys. Not only did it hit the top of the 15-bar VWAP right there, it perfectly got you out at the end of the second rotation right there. Nothing left in the trade. That's it. Done. Okay, guys, there you go. That's what real algorithmic trading looks like for you right there on the chart for you guys to see. Just so you know, we'll post the full video recap in the Discord, which is members only. We'll also post it on our YouTube channel for easy review. But here's the kicker, guys. Don't just watch it like a Netflix run or rerun, rather. Do the work. Run the replay yourself. Try to replicate every entry and exit I showed you today without cheating, of course, all right? And post your marked up charts in the Discord, or, you know, if you don't feel like doing that, just send them over via Telegram. I'd be happy to be your sounding board, okay? And let's see if you really understand how the process works, okay? So remember your challenge. Run it back, follow the steps I just laid out, mark your charts, send them over where you actually spotted the move, confirmed it, and managed it, okay? This is how you sharpen your edge. Process, repetition, and mastery, okay? And to the fence sitters, hey guys, it's July 1st. What are you waiting for? Half the year's already gone. And if you're still clinging to old tools or trying to figure it out solo, how's that working out for you? How many more clean trades are you willing to let slip past before you decide to upgrade your game, guys? Okay, you can get the tools, get the 7-day free trial, 0 risk, no excuses. Then you can join us in the Discord where the real work happens. Get the 2 free one-on-one setup calls so you're dialed in from day one. We're just not going to give you the tools and let you go at it on your own, okay? The market's not waiting for you guys.